time. We both know the reason. No need to put off leaving. I should have known you're the leaving kind. You don't have to say goodbye. You're already gone in your mind.
Hey everybody, I'm Scott Wikle. You're listening to My Kind of Country. Thanks for joining me on a Monday night. It's always a pleasure to talk to this lady. She is a fabulous singer. She's got a brand new CD out called With Love. And man, I'll tell you what, she comes from such a musical background, and she's got so many people surrounding her that are just great in music. And it's a pleasure to have her on the show tonight. We're going to talk about this album and play some of the great songs for you. This is Dee Jee Overbey. Dee Jee, how are you tonight?
I'm fine, and thank you for the sweet compliments.
Oh,
great.
Well, man, I tell you, you're one of our favorites here. We play a lot of your music, and I get so many great comments on our feed about your songs, and you just can't go wrong.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate all the people liking it. You know, that's the main thing.
Well, I'll tell you,
record something people like.
It's good country music, and that's what my people tune in for, so I think we're good to go, you know.
Thanks for keeping it alive. You know, we need disc jockeys like you out there.
Oh, man, always, always.
The real stuff going.
Well, before we talk about this album, for my listeners that don't know your background, give me a little bit of your background. You're also related to some pretty famous people, too.
Oh, wow. Well, yes, I used to sing harmony for Connie Smith and was on the Opry and worked the road and did some TV shows with her on and off for 7 years. And my daughter is Amber Digby, who's a pretty well-known singer in her own right. My sister, Diane McCall, is a recording artist, and my older brother, Daryl McCall, has been around for a while, and he's pretty famous, Texas and other places also. And my little brother, my baby brother, was a backup singer with the Carolees on the Grand Ole Opry for 35 years. The little sandy-headed one on the left, if you see the old reruns, that's my little baby brother. And kind of pretty much grew up around the music business.
Boy, I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah, I forgot my late husband, Dickie Overbey, was the steel guitar player and also a well-known songwriter.
Absolutely. One of the best in the business, no doubt about that.
I think so, too. Thank you.
And we love Amber's new album, too, with all the duets on there. What a great project that is.
Oh, I love it. I think it's just wonderful. I was so glad she got to do that.
Oh, I am, too. I got to get her on the show. I've been trying to get a hold of Randy, and if you talk to her, tell her to call me because I want to get her on the show.
I sure will.
We've been playing the heck out of that thing. I was real tickled, too. Jeannie C. Riley did a song with her on there, and it was so good to hear her sing again.
I know, and her and Jeannie are real close. Jeannie was inducted into the Texas Hall of Fame last year, and they picked Amber. In fact, Jeannie C. Riley picked her herself. She said, I want Amber to sing my song, Harper Valley PTA. So she got to sing the song to Jeannie that night. It was great.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jeannie makes no bones about it. She'll tell you right straight out that Amber is her favorite female singer. So.
I know. I know. You got to love Jeannie C. Riley. She's awesome.
Oh, she sure is. Well, Dee Jee, you've got just a fabulous CD. Of course, we've played a lot of your songs from your previous album, Rhymes Without Reason, and your new album is called With Love, and our good buddy Chuck Cusimano wrote and co-wrote every single song on this project.
Oh, yes, he sure did. He's some kind of writer. I guess you know Billy Bowles calls him Hallmark Chuck. He said he's got a song for every occasion.
That's for sure.
and so I enjoyed writing with him. We've written quite a few songs together. A lot of them we haven't even put out yet, but yeah, he's a great writer.
Oh man, I'll tell you, he's every so often he'll send me a CD, and I mean it's just chock full of great songs. And then
I know
he keeps turning up. There's so many great artists that he's had songs recorded by, and his name keeps turning up, and he's just one of my favorite people.
Oh, yeah, he's a great guy.
Dee Jee Overbey's new album is available at the Ernest Tubb Record Shop on Broadway in downtown Nashville. Make sure you stop in there and pick up a copy of With Love. And her other album, Rhymes Without Reason, is available there as well. That's the Ernest Tubb Record Shop. And you can go to i2irecords.com, and we will have that information on our Facebook page. Dee Jee, speaking of Chuck, you and he did a duet on this project. Tell me a little bit about that song.
Yes, we did. Actually, there's a misprint on my CD. He wrote that by himself. I didn't help write it. But we were just kind of joking around one day, and he said, I got this idea, and he told me about it. And actually, he said, well, while you're here, I was in Texas last year, he said, let's just go and put it down in the studio. And so we did, and kind of ad-libbed at the end, as you can tell. And I thought I was going to go back in and redo it, you know. I thought that was just a demo. And actually, he ended up putting it out so that it is what it is. Everybody seems to like it, you know.
Oh, I love it, you know. And sometimes, you know, the spontaneity of a song like that, it just makes it all that much more fun, you know.
Oh, I know. We got tickled at the end. That's why we're laughing, you know. We were just ad-libbing and got tickled and we're laughing. But I guess people really like it.
Oh, it's a great song. We're going to play that tonight. And tell me some of your favorites on this project. I always pick out mine. I want to talk to you and have you pick out your favorites on here.
Well, a lot of people had already recorded "It's Your Love," but I love that song. And he said, "Well, why don't you just go ahead and do it?" And I'd already come back to Nashville, and he said, "We'll just send the tracks up there, and you put your voice on it." So I did that on that one. And All the Love in San Antonio. Those two, they just sent the tracks up here to Nashville, and I put my voice on them. And but the other ones, I picked out. I said, "I love What Can You Do." He had recorded that on one of his other CDs, and a girl hadn't done it yet. It was just him, you know. And I said, "I love that song, What Can You Do?" And so I got to get the famous Mike Johnson to play steel guitar on it, and my other steel guitar player down there, Gary Carpenter, he's great too. I love his playing. And Hank Singer on fiddle. And everybody on that album are really good musicians and entertainers really in their own right, you know. Barry Bayless and Mark Abbott. And I mean, it just was a great album.
Absolutely.
Jess Metter and Hank Singer both play twin fiddle for Jay Cooker down there. So I got to have both of them on there, and I was just thrilled to death.
Oh man, I got to meet Hank Singer many years ago. He was touring with George Jones for a long time, and I got to meet him.
He sure was.
Yeah.
He was with George, and he was with Leanne Womack. He's been with a lot of people. Of course, he does the country family reunion shows, and Mike Johnson does too on steel. And I just was thrilled to have both of them. I've known Hank for years and years, since the 70s, you know, so we go way back.
Oh,
and him and Dickie played, my late husband and Hank Singer both played for Ronnie Millsap at the same time.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, Hank was the fiddle player and Dickie was the steel player, so it was great.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But, yeah, I love What Can You Do? I love that song. And then Chuck and I wrote the other song, Lonely Shadow. And I thought it turned out really good. And Mike is playing steel on that one, too.
Oh, yeah. And Mind is a Terrible Thing, too. That's a beautiful song, too.
Yeah, he just, I was up here on the phone with him, and he said, he was trying to think of something. He said, you know, the mind is a terrible thing. He forgot. And he said, hey, that's a good idea for a song, and we just wrote it. I mean, it was like over the phone.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah. So that's how that happened.
Oh, that's great. And I do want to mention, too, ChuckCusimano.com is Chuck's website. And, of course, so we've talked about his great music. And please go there and check his website out. We'll put that information on our Facebook page, too. And how did you guys first get together?
Well, I met Chuck years ago. Actually, my late husband was playing steel for Amber, and we were working in the stockyards at Pearl's Dance Hall one night, and she got Chuck up to set in. He'd come in the club, and she got him up to set in, and I met him then. And then years later, I think it was 3 years ago, I was living up here, and he called me one time, and he said, "Do you remember who I am?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "I've got this duet." He said, "I was trying to think of who could sing this with me. Would you be interested?" And that was Rhymes Without Reason. And I said, "Well, yes, I would be interested." And that's how that happened. So
Wow.
went to Texas and recorded it with him, and we got to win an award over it. I thought that was great.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, from the Academy of Western Artists. I absolutely love them. And I was given their DJ of the Year award this year, and I'm so honored for that.
Congratulations. I was going to congratulate you on that.
Well,
that's wonderful.
Thank you. Well, it's because I have such great music to play, including stuff from you, so it makes my job really easy.
Thank you so much.
Hey, you're going to be at their awards show in August, right?
Yes, I plan on it. Sure do.
Well, that's great. We'll have that information on our Facebook page, too. It's down in Fort Worth, Texas. You got to check that out, folks. Lots of great country music. Yeah. So I know we've kind of been on hold with all the virus stuff and everything, but things are starting to open up back now. So what's on tap for you this summer?
I was asked by a friend of mine down there in Texas, Jason Milligan. He's a new artist, and he's got a project he's getting ready to release, and it's a tribute to Waylon Jennings. And they wanted me to sing the Jesse Coulter part on it, so they sent the MP3 up here, and I put my harmony on it. It's getting ready to come out really soon. But his name is Jason Milligan. My late husband's getting an award posthumously from the Cowtown Western Society of Swing Western Society, and I got to get that. Go down and get his award for that. And then we were supposed to do this big thing we do every year here in Nashville called Country for a Cause.
Yeah.
They raise money for the Children's Hospital, and it got canceled. Last year we did it. We backed 15 big artists, T. Graham Brown, Crystal Gale, there's a whole list of them, and we really loved that. And we're looking forward to it, and it got canceled. So, like you said, it's just starting to go back around. People are just starting to book things again.
And I wanted to mention, too, the liner notes on here were written by beautiful Miss Leona Williams.
Yes, I love her. She's just awesome, and she surprised me. I asked her son-in-law is the one that did the album for me, made the copies and all that, and I said I wanted to ask Leona if she would do my liner notes, and he said, "Oh, I'm sure if you'll call her and ask her." Well, I hadn't done it yet. Well, to my surprise, he had already asked. He told her that I wanted it done, and she said, "Well, send it to me, let me listen to it." And she did, and she said, "Oh, yes, tell her or she did the liner notes, and then they told me later. I said, "Oh, my gosh, I'm so thrilled," because she's one of my girl heroes, singers.
Oh, man. I just love Leona. She's such a nice lady, too,
Yes, we talked a couple weeks ago. She was in Missouri, and she said, "Next time I come to town, we're going to get together and write." And I said, "You better believe it. We'll put the coffee on. You get over here, and she's going to come over, and we're going to write." She said, "Let's write a hit." And I said, "I want to write a hit, especially with you,
Well, I'll tell you, if you guys write it, I'll play it on the show. How's that? Yeah, you guys ought to record together, too, man. You guys would sound beautiful together.
Wow. I love her. I got to sing with her one time at Pearl's, actually. Her and me and Justin Trevino sang the old song, "I Never Go Around Mirrors." We did our harmony, and that was a big thrill.
Oh, man, I'd love to hear that. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. And years ago, this is what's funny, when I was singing on the Opry with Connie, I ran into Leona at the mall here in Nashville, and my son was just little then. He was just like 5 years old, and she said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to do a sit-down job in Vegas for 2 weeks with the Strangers, just me and the Strangers." And she said, "I'd like for you to sing harmony with me." And at that time, I didn't have anyone to leave my son with, and I couldn't do it. And I said, boy, I think back, I thought, wouldn't that have been something,
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
Way back then, I know. 2 weeks with Leona and the Strangers, that would have been great.
Oh, man, the very best honky-tonk band in history right there. I mean, there's...
Oh, I know. Awesome. Yeah.
They are fabulous. You know, Norm Hammond is still playing great music. He's been working with Mario Carboni, and oh man, just he's still as smooth as ever. You know.
Yes, he is. My late husband Dickie loved him too.
Oh yeah, we talked about Dickie the last time I talked to Norm too, and they always enjoy getting together at those big steel guitar conventions. You know.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you did the Midnight Jamboree not too long ago with Connie Smith too.
Oh, she surprised me. This was back in it was in the winter time, but she said, "Come on down. I'm going to do the Midnight Jamboree," and I can't remember. It was raining or something that night, and I said, "Well, I don't know if I'll get to make it." She said, "Oh, come on," and I said, "Well, I'll be by myself," and she said, "I'll send Kerry, that's her son. I'll have Kerry watch out for you, and he'll walk you from your car." I said, "Okay." So I went down there, and I wasn't expecting, I just went down to see her show. And I was sitting there in the audience with her daughter. She sang with her that night, Jody. And she said, "I'm going to get this girl up here that used to sing with me." And she introduced me and had me get up, and we did once a day. So that was a big thrill.
Oh, that's fab. You guys sound so good together. I love harmony. I've always been a big fan of harmony.
That was what I was, a harmony singer.
Yeah, I love that so much. And I know you've been doing some work with my dear Tennessee mama, Margie Singleton, too.
I love her, yes. Me and Diane both. We did some recording with her last year on a couple different projects, and I love Margie. She's some kind of writer, too.
Oh, yeah. She calls me, and she'll sing a new song for me, and it's just amazing, and I just can't wait to hear her new stuff. She's got some great music coming, that's for sure.
She does, and she's written for some famous people. People don't realize, like Brooke Benton, and,
She'll be listening tonight, I know, so she'll be glad that we talked about her.
Well, good. I love her. She's something else.
Me too. Dee Jee Overbey's new album is available at the Ernest Tubb Record Shop on Broadway in downtown Nashville. Make sure you stop in there and pick up a copy of With Love, and her other album, Rhymes Without Reason, is available there as well. That's the Ernest Tubb Record Shop. You can also order it online at i2irecords.com. We're going to have that information on our Facebook page. Dee Jee Overbey's new album is called With Love, and we are going to play some of these fabulous songs for you. And she also has a beautiful album called Rhymes Without Reason that's available there. And catch up with her on Facebook, too. We'll have all that information. And if you get a chance, go and see her. And Dee Jee, I want to thank you so much. As always, it's a pleasure to talk to you. And, boy, I sure do love this new album.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for asking me, Scott. Disc jockeys like you that supports our music, if it wasn't for that, we couldn't get it out there,
But it is my honor.
I thank God for disc jockeys like y'all helping us independent artists.
I also want to tell you, I have a dear friend who is also a DJ. He lives out in Chico, California. His name is Brad Peterson. And he just got your CD recently, and he just absolutely loves it. So
we're friends on Facebook, yes.
Oh, he's a dear friend of mine, just like a brother to me, and he's such a great country music person.
If you're listening, Brad, hi.
He will be. I'll make sure he is.
All right. That's great.
Well, Dee Jee, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you, and I hope we get to see you the next time we get down to Nashville. And
you got to do that, yes.
In the meantime, we're going to keep playing this great music from you. The album is called With Love, and folks, listen to this great country music right here. Dee Jee, thanks again for being on My Kind of Country.
Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate it.
You ask me if I'm thinking of an old love affair, someone who used to hold me before your arms were there. I must answer truthfully, as though it's not rehearsed. Darling, I won't lie to you. No, you're not the first. But it's your love Yes, your love just keeps growing stronger. It's your love that I'm living for. Wasn't too bad, but once I tasted your lips pressed softly to mine, I became addicted like a drunkard to wine. 'Cause it's your love that's taken me farther than any love I've ever known before. Yes, your love just keeps growing stronger. It's your love that I'm living for. It's your love that I'm living for. Of a man who lost it all, someone who let love slip through his fingers, just a shadow on the wall of a man who's feeling small, a lonely shadow of the pain that still lingers. She gave her heart, she gave her trust, but he gave in to lust. She moved to another town, another state. Now he lives here all alone, realizing what he's done. Problem is, he came to realize too late. The papers came today. He knew what they would say. There's a cloud of darkness settled on this man. The only light that lights the room leaves this lonely man in gloom, a lonely shadow of a lonely man. The papers came today. He knew what they would say. There's a cloud of darkness settled on this man. The only light that lights the room leaves this lonely man in gloom, a lonely shadow of a lonely man. A lonely shadow of a lonely man. worse than me.
I almost said let's leave this place, it close it down at 2. And I meant everything I almost said to you.
I almost said at breakfast, if you and I had gone, let's not spend another minute here. Come on and take me home.
I almost said you're alone and I am lonely too. And I meant everything I almost said to you. I look back and kick myself 'cause I couldn't say a thing.
I guess I was afraid you'd think I was insane.
I guess we'll always wonder if we had followed through. 'Cause I meant everything I almost said to you. Say a thing.
I guess I was afraid you'd think I was insane.
I guess we'll always wonder if we had followed through. 'Cause I meant everything I almost said to you. I meant everything I almost said to you. Daggone it, you just sit there like a bump on a log.
Well, I'm bashful.
Yeah, you're bashful.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to speak up.
Well, I think you're just looking like $1 million.
Well, thanks.
Afraid to talk.
Maybe you should have asked me to dance or something.
I was half scared to death of you.
Or buy me a drink or something.
Well, I could have bought you a drink. I had $5 on Saturday night.
You sure were cute, though.